Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic, and welcome back to the channel. And today, for you guys, is another Marvel movie review. We're finally here. We're at the Captain Marvel sequel, The Marvels. Enjoy the Lego Marvels Avengers gameplay. I'm going to be saying the word Marvel and Marvels a lot, but what are you going to do? But yeah, so I tried to play as Captain Marvel and Nick Fury and Kamala Khan. I don't think Monica's in there, but I tried my best, okay? And then at the end, I just kind of went off the deep end and it's just Iron Man and Spider Man. But whatever, enjoy the gameplay. So the Marvels came out on Friday. And recording this, it's Sunday. I don't know when this is going out, either Sunday or Monday. But oh yeah, leave a like, subscribe. By the way, thanks. Yeah, so with all the formalities out of the way, this is a movie that, quite frankly, I'm just going to be straight up honest, it is not going to make a lot of money. It's not. It's probably going to bomb. In fact, it's probably bombing already. I saw it with my mother, and the theater was packed. There was literally every effing seat was about taken. Really, really packed theater. Now, obviously, that's not to speak for every theater in the world, but the one I was at, pretty good. So yeah, just straight up, this movie's not going to make its money back, sadly. I don't think it's going to happen. There's a lot of things going against it. A lot of it is the media. I think 99% of our problems with society and the world is from the media. Uh, Take that as you will. But, you see people online, and this is a spoiler-free review, but you see people online spoiling the movie, spoiling the end credit scene, who's in the end credit scene, what's happening in the end credit scene, and because of that, you see this debate going on where you have one side of the group saying, "Oh, the MCU is really great," and then you have the other side saying, "Oh, the MCU effing died, and it's all trash, it's all horrible." And look, in my opinion, we've gotten really good Marvel projects since Endgame, right? Shang-Chi, Loki, Moon Knight, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, uh, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, the Marvels, right? And then you have some that are, again, in my opinion, not necessarily the best, like Miss Marvel the Show, She-Hulk, Thor Love and Thunder, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. None of those are, well, okay, Miss Marvel and She-Hulk are pretty shit, but the other ones aren't necessarily horrible. They're just not as good as what they should or could have been comparative to other MCU projects. And because the MCU has normally always had this crazy good track record of every movie's a banger and they're all great and they're all making $1 billion, as soon as one isn't necessarily loved by everyone, or as soon as it doesn't make $1 billion in point 0.3 seconds after it comes out in theaters, it's automatically a big effing stinker. It's a big flop. Go home, burn it all, just destroy everything. Let the past die. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do. And with this, look, it's hard for me to comment on it because I'm just franchise fanatic. I don't really have a say, or I don't, impact this. But in my personal experience, I've loved the MCU since day one. I've always loved it, and look, there's been some stinkers. Like I said, there have been some things that could have easily been a lot better. And I know Marvel has a quadrillion TV show episodes and a batillion movies out, and that's why Quantumania looked like dog cheeks, or that's why She-Hulk's writing was trash, or that's why Thor: Love and Thunder's writing was trash, and the CGI was trash. It's just that there's too many forces kind of at play here, whether you're the director or the writer or the CGI guys, and then that giant effing SAG-AFTRA crap strike happened. Apparently that's over with, so that's good, I guess. But it's just, there's a lot of forces that are pushing against Marvel, and you come up with this thing, and you're like, how do you come back from that? How do you do that? Because the Marvels, as I said, not making any money. No one really likes it. Hell, people are saying it's one of, if not the worst Marvel movie ever, which is not. But a lot of people say it is. And then again, you hear that either Democratic or Republican side of Twitter or X, where they say this is woke because there's a black chick, or this is woke because there's a Muslim chick, or this is woke because there's a white chick, or this is Muslim because they're all chicks. This is Muslim. What the hell? This is woke because they're all chicks. You know what I mean? It's insanity, and you can't get past that. And look, I hate the woke shit too. All right, I want it to burn down too. I don't like that stuff either. But this movie, I've seen it. I spent real money on this movie, and it's not woke. Surprisingly, it's just not. Like there's women, and one of them. They're not all just white, what I mean? But that doesn't make it woke or bad, right? They're well-written characters. I will say Captain Marvel I liked the first movie. I didn't think it was horrible. I was genuinely excited to see where this was, gonna go. I think Monica Rambeau is not the best character in the world, but I mean, they did a good job, setting up her in Captain Marvel 1 with WandaVision and all this other stuff. So, I guess that's kind of an issue where you kind of have to watch the Disney Plus shows to know what the hell's even going on anymore. Because if you don't know who's Monica Rambeau. You know what I mean? What the heck who's Kamala Khan? You know what I mean? What's going on? People that aren't massive Marvel nerds and they don't have Disney Plus or they don't have time to watch all this stuff, then they go in to see the movies. They don't know what's going on. It's just like the new Modern Warfare 3 story. You know what I mean? Like, without spoiling the Modern Warfare 3 campaign, I didn't finish it yet, but there's instances in that campaign where characters come back, and I'm like, wait a minute, they effing died in the last game or whatever. Something happened to them. And, they kind of put the Modern Warfare stories in the multiplayer and the Warzone and that crap. And I don't like that. Of course, you can just go on YouTube and figure that out, but it's not good to do that. And they kind of did it with this as well. But going to Kamala Khan, she's better in this than her own show. I watched the whole of Ms. Marvel. I barely made it through. I can't stand that show. Now, I am doing a Marvel Cinematic Universe rewatch. I know you wouldn't believe it because I haven't posted in like a freaking year, but a lot of stuff's going on. I am still doing it. Don't worry. But I will, watch She-Hulk and Ms. Marvel again because that's part of it, right? It's all canon. I'm going to rewatch it for the, review. But the show was trash, and I will say she is better in this film. She's more endearing, better acted, better writing. I think just more endearing as a character. Now, we'll get back to her in a minute, but I do think overall, yeah, go see this movie. You know what I mean? Is it perfect? No. No, it's not the complete, train wreck that the internet says it is. It's not a 2 out of 10, or hell, it's not a 1 out of 10. It's not a 10 out of 10, but it is. It's a good movie. I wouldn't even say it's average. It's a very good movie. Please, go and watch this. Go to your theater and watch The Marvels, okay? Do it, because it's not making any money, it's not a woke fest, and it's actually good. And that's what sucks, because people see women, and a black woman, and a Muslim woman, and, the Republicans freak out, and then you hear the Democrats going, or, whatever, the blue and red guys are crying over on Twitter. It doesn't help, because at the end of the day, no one's going to go see this movie because one side already spoiled the end credits scene, and, all people seem to care about now is what comes next and not the actual movie itself, which I can't stand. The movie itself, though, is good. Is it perfect? No, we're going to get into that in a second, but the acting, for the most part, is very good, even from, Iman Vellani, Kamala Khan. Everyone's good in this. Nick Fury's good. I know they kind of, it seems like Nick Fury's, in effing everything now. He's just kind of tacked in, just kind of, put Nick Fury in, I don't know, what, the Mole Man movie? I put him in that, you know what I mean? Or put him in Morbius 3 or whatever. More Mobius, or Moby, whatever it is. Whichever one I'm talking about. Just throw Nick Fury in everything. But no, he is in this, and he is, he's good. He has something to do. He's not just there to cash the check. There is a surprise cameo who I mean, he or she appears for a reason, but it is a very brief cameo. But overall, the acting is good. The writing is, like I said, there's nothing woke in terms of writing that I really looking for. I think that Dar-Ben, or whatever the new villain is, that girl villain, a lot of people online are saying, oh, she's a horrible villain. She's the worst MCU villain ever. It's just a complete trash villain. And I will give you this. The trailers for the Marvels, the trailers for this movie, are poop. I've watched them, and they advertise them on YouTube every 5 freaking seconds. Every video has 10 Marvels ads, and they're all horrible. You can tell, because you hear Nick Fury, Nick Fury's monologue in the trailer. He goes, you can tell when, they edit it, and they take a sentence, and then they splice the one sentence, and then they add another one. So the trailer, and if you don't believe me, watch the trailer, it's there. The trailer goes Captain Marvel, we need you to save the world. That's what they, we need you. It's like that. It's we need. And then they cut that, and then they took another sentence where he said the word you and put you in there. It's just they're god-awful trailers. So I don't blame you if you didn't want to see this movie, because they're complete poop trailers. But the movie itself is not indicative of the trailer. It's actually pretty good. There are some elements where okay, yeah, maybe there's a few ADR things in there. If you heard there's a musical scene, it's not just there to be there, like Joker, Filet-O-Do. Stupid ass title. It is, again, it sounds like a McDonald's order. I will say though that the musical scene in this, it's there for a reason. It's not tacked on. They give an in-universe canon explanation for it. There's one or two gripes with it. I think Brie Larson, I don't know if that's actually her singing voice. She doesn't sound half bad. But it's brief. It's a quick thing. The movie is not a musical, all right? It's just this one thing, and it's more of a joke. It works. So there's that. But again, the writing for the most part is pretty good. I think Kamala Khan's family is funny. I mean, Kamala Khan's family, your mom and dad were good in the show that she was in. They're even better here. But going back to Kamala, I think that one of the worst aspects of this movie is her. She's also one of the best. She's like she I was telling Echo Killshot about this. Is that um, she falls dangerously close to being like the Flash from the DCEU, where in Justice League, the Flash is like, what's brunch? You know what I mean? Like, oh, are we gonna go to lunch or are we gonna go to brunch? You know what I mean? Eating pizza. He's just like that's the Flash. He's like, wow, it's the Batcave. I'm like, shut the hell up. You know what I mean? Come on. Like, I get it. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make the Flash like Spider-Man, right? He's just a young kid. He's always in awe and everything, and he's just, oh my God, you're Batman. And, wow, you're Wonder Woman. You're hot. You're sexy. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's how I would act too. And that's how you would act. Don't even lie to my face. That's how you would act. If you saw Batman, you'd be like, oh my God, Batman. You wouldn't not do that. But in a movie, it's kind of annoying. You know what I mean? And they're almost at that level with Miss Marvel in this film, because almost every scene she's in, she's like, or she's just like eating popcorn randomly, or she's just like in her living room like, wow, Captain Marvel was, oh my goodness gracious, we're BFFs. I mean, it's that for like the whole effing movie, and it's not grating, and it's not like, oh my God, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, because she's good in this. It's just that there's a lot of that in there. And again, if it can fall dangerously short to becoming very effing annoying, where you want to punch her in the head like a field goal through space and time. You know what I mean? It's like, just shut up for a second. We get it. She's hot or she's cool. I get it. Captain Marvel is kind of cool. I get it. But, every 5 seconds, she's always talking about how she loves her, or how, she's just super, super excited to be there, or whatever's going on. You know what I mean? It's not bad, but it can take you out of it, because there are moments in this where she actually is funny, and she's actually good in this, and she has emotion. And then there's others where you just want to punch her in the neck. But other than that, I do think, that there are some good jokes in here too. Going to her joking, I wouldn't call this movie a comedy, but it isn't the most serious MCU movie, which I think we should get back to. I think the MCU has, become more of a comedy action than an action franchise. I mean, like, I like the jokes, but let's make some more serious movies here. I want Winter Soldier, and Echo looks good, that show, and that is canon and all that. But I don't know. I kind of want the movies to be like less jokey all the time and more serious. And there are serious moments in this. It's just that sometimes the jokes outweigh that. But a lot of the times the jokes are good. There's a lot of heartfelt moments. Some good, like I said, good acting, good writing, good music. Again, like, it's a shame because this movie's, like I said, it's not going to make any money. And no one will believe me. But it's a good movie. All right? I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I know some people don't want to watch because Brie Larson is... I think she's Republican. Maybe that's why. There's a lot of people on YouTube and Twitter that like want to completely snap the neck of Brie Larson. I don't know what she did. I don't know if she like murdered their families. I don't know what the hell's going on there. But people are weird, obviously, especially on Twitter. I don't even know why I'm on Twitter. I don't know. It's a mystery. But they're very kind of selective in what they want to watch, and they hear it's bad, and then people are sheep. And they go, oh, well, this one guy said it was bad, so I won't watch it. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't want to watch, whatever. I might love this movie. I don't love it. I like it. Let's say I love this movie, hypothetically. That doesn't mean I'm telling you have to believe me. Like, every opinion is different. But in my opinion, you gotta have to see this movie. Like, it's pretty good. It's not the best thing ever made, but it's far above just average Marvel slop that Thor: Love and Thunder was, for example. You know what I mean? Or like Ant-Man 3, for example. Those aren't bad movies, but they're not great. This is pretty good Marvel. I want to say Marvel's back in terms of movies, because we've gotten to that. A few movies have been very craft CGI. This one had pretty good CGI. A lot of the older movies like Thor: Love and Thunder, Quantumania, or whatever, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, they go woke and they try to be inclusive and, all that crap. That's not really in this. I know there's 3 women in this, but at no point in this movie do they go, we're women and we're strong and men are bad. They did that in Black Widow, but they didn't do it in this. You know what I mean? Like, Black Widow, the main bad guy's a white dude who controls a bunch of women, and every other white guy in the movie is either a pervert or a complete effing moron, just like in She-Hulk. She-Hulk. Why did I say it like that? Just like in She-Hulk. She-Hulk. I sound like the Nick Fury trailer. But it is weird because, I think we're past that. It was like a weird phase It's like Phase 4.5. Let's go woke. And then it was, let's finish up Phase 4 and make it good again. And I think we're at that stage. We're getting Deadpool 3 and Blade. The future looks bright. And this film is, like I said, a pretty good start. It's not as good as, say, Guardians 3. Not many Marvel things are. But I do think that this was a step in the right direction for what they want to do going forward. Again, the only issue would be Miss Marvel's a bit annoying sometimes. Maybe the villain, Dar-Ben or whatever, she's not great, but again, you do find out why she's evil. It's not just because, in the trailer she's like, I'm going to make you suffer, and you ruined my life, and I'm going to make you pay. It's like, why? Why are you evil? Why do you want, why are you trying to kill Captain Marvel and Kamala and Monica? What is the reason? And there is a reason in the movie. Of course, they're not going to effing tell you that in the trailer because it's a trailer. But again, trailers are garbage for this movie. Don't even watch them. Just watch the movie. Again, the post-credit scenes are good, but the movie itself is worth your time. Very good CGI for the most part. Good writing. Very good acting. Great music. And that leads me to my last point, which is the action scenes. The action scenes of this movie are effing phenomenal. They are awesome. They have such veracity and life to them. Like some of the MCU movies have, all of them really have great action. I guess from a She-Hulk and Miss Marvel, I guess. But, how like you watch like Iron Man 3 and you're like, okay, the camera's moving and then it just kind of moves. And it's hard to explain it, but if you've ever watched like Kingsman, 1, 2, or The Kingsman, a lot of the action scenes in the Kingsman franchise, which I guess that is Disney now too, but the Kingsman movies, the action scenes are very meticulously made. There's a lot of stuff going on. The camera's going in and out. It can borderline on being effing totally chaotic and nonsensical, but it ends up working. And then you pair the fact that, every time Captain Marvel uses her powers, she poops out of the room. She doesn't actually poop, but like she poofs out of the room, I should say, and then Miss Marvel pops in. Or, Miss Marvel uses her whatever crystal crap powers, and then Monica slides in because they're all trading power places. That's interesting. And then you pair that with the action scenes, and yeah, it could get chaotic and hard to follow, but it isn't. Because you're establishing what's going on beforehand, and then when the action starts and the camera's going crazy and there's a lot of really good action, the way the camera moves and all that, the way the characters interact within each frame, it's very chaotic in a good way. It's frenetic and it has a lot of action, and it just makes you it's like I'm sitting there in the theater and I was smiling because I'm like, I didn't expect this movie. Like, Captain Marvel 1 had good action, but, like, it wasn't filmed, like, amazingly. You know what I mean? It was just like, okay, we're here, and we're filming, and this is cool. She's shooting beams out of her hand. Cool. But then this one's like, no, like, there's knives, and there's kicking, and there's jumping, and Miss Marvel's, like, doing these tumbles in the air with her powers, and there's a lot to follow, and it's, everywhere you look, there's something going on. And, again, that could become annoying and bad, but thankfully it isn't. And it ended up being really, really cool. So overall, The Marvels is not a great movie. It's good. I will buy it on Blu-ray, obviously. I recommend you see it. This is not an Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man No Way Home, Guardians 3 type of thing where, like, this is a must-see and it's a 10 out of 10 movie. But it's also not dog cheeks like everyone else on the internet has to say. This is not a crap movie. This is a very good movie that I highly recommend you see, not just for the post-credit scene, which you probably already saw on Twitter, because people are jerks, or like I said, just go and see it, okay? Like, please, because it is worth your time. It's a fun movie. It's action-packed. It's got some heart. It has some good ending. It leads up. Yes, there are post-credit scenes that, lead into future things, but the movie itself makes sense. And I do recommend you also see WandaVision and Captain Marvel 1 and even Miss Marvel. I know it's horrible, in my opinion, but, you kind of have to, because if you don't know, you're not going to know what's going on. It's like watching the Ahsoka live-action show without seeing the animated show Rebels. You won't know what's going on, and you won't like it because you're going to be totally confused. So do your homework ahead of time. I know there's a shit ton of Marvel stuff out now, and all my friends are like, oh, I can't watch the new Marvel movie because I haven't seen the last 18 movies and 35 shows. Yeah, it's becoming a problem. The MCU is getting kind of too big for its own good. But thankfully, if you have time to follow it, like for me, I haven't even finished Secret Invasion. I haven't even started Loki Season 2 yet. I got homework up the butt. I got a butt ton of, other things. I'm covering the MonsterVerse right now. I'm going to have the Skull Island anime hopefully out soon. I got 4 more of those to go to. So, I'm busy too. But there's a lot of, I think that if you're truly invested in Marvel like myself, I'm going to find time to watch this stuff. And, I do recommend you go see it, man. Please support this movie. It's not a woke disaster. It's not trash. There are things to not like. It's not perfect, as I mentioned in this review, but it is good enough, and it's serviceable, and it's actually pretty good. I would say it is better than Captain Marvel 1. I think it's an improvement over that. And again, I like the idea that they're trading places and all that. It's really, really good stuff. It's fun. It's funny, action-packed, has some heart, good music, good writing, good acting. The villain is not the best villain in the whole world, but she's good enough. She's like your Killmonger or your freaking, I don't know, your whatever. She's not Loki or Thanos or I don't know, what's another good one? I think that's it. But look, the MCU has never had that great of villains. I do think DC is better with that still. But, it is fun to see this movie, and it sucks that it's not going to make any money. It's probably going to flop, and they're going to consider it probably a tax write-off and say, oh, well, that was a bomb. Let's just not do that again. And it sucks because the quality of, or the box office is not indicative of the quality of a film. There are a lot of movies that bomb that are really effing good. That just because a movie bombs doesn't mean it's good, or just because a movie makes $1 billion doesn't mean it's great. I hated Barbie for the most part. Trash movie, total woke propaganda, but it made $1 billion because it's Barbie. Like, I guess, I don't know. All the girls went in there, I guess. I don't know, but it is what it is at the end of the day. I can't change that, but I had fun with it, and I think you will too. So make sure to go support the Marvels in theaters. I'm gonna give the Marvels. Let's see. I'll probably give it a B+. I thought it was pretty good. Not amazing, but I think it was definitely an improvement over the first one. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.